So as of this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, the PlayStation 4 beta for Black Ops Cold War ended up finishing. Later this week, we'll of course have more to play around with, as all platforms will be getting the opportunity to jump in, but now just over a month away from launch, we're starting to look at the end of Modern Warfare, if you will. While sitting down and planning out some content here for the short term, but also the long term for the channel, it got me thinking about the future of this game, because we've seen Season 6 come and introduce a lot, and a reloaded update coming in the near future, but there's still a rumor of something following even that. A Season 7 that may be coming to Modern Warfare. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today, the rumor of Season 7 and what it may hold. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Come November 13th and a launch of Black Ops Cold War, if a new season of Modern Warfare were to be coming out shortly thereafter, would you jump back on and check it out? As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and of course, Black Ops Cold War, as we ramp up towards another big year of coming content. We're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to join the community, I'd love to have you. Finally, a quick thank you and shout out to Angelo, Ryan, Jeremy, and Get Warfare for showing some love and supporting the channel a little further by using code ESPRESSO in the Modern Warfare shop. If you end up using my code, be sure to tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your support. But anyways, let's talk about this rumored Season 7 of Modern Warfare. Is this just a rumor, or is it perhaps a reality? So the idea of this rumor of Season 7 at its core is rooted in the fact that there is still so much of the game that we haven't seen just yet that's been data mined for absolute ages. For maps, modes, operators, and all things considered, it raises some question marks. There's lots of maps and operators still in the files predominantly, and these have been dug up again for ages by data miner Senasalo. This coming from even the beta build as early back as that of Modern Warfare. Maps like Farida, which was from the campaign and originally was reported to be planned to go live ages ago, but was apparently delayed to readjust the design of the level to better suit fan feedback for the game. Maps like Exclusion Zone, which is on the outer edges of Pripyat. Maps like Takedown, and I kind of want to draw the comparison here with this because we do have images of these ones that it looks like High Rise with a rooftop helo pad, but it's not the same thing as the High Rise that you know from Modern Warfare 2. Just kind of the same design, style, and setting here of that. There's a map called Borderline, which looks like the outer city limits of somewhere in Eastern Europe. There's other maps like Urzikstan, Rivna, Subbase, Torres, Oasis. Tons of maps like that, and also there are a lot of Warzone locations here that I think that's just a different explanation. There's maps listed in the game files of Gulag, Hospital, Lumber, Mill Base, Prison, Super, TV Station, and these ones in particular I think again go two different ways. Either these are items that from the very beginning pointed towards Battle Royale and locations in there, or these are maps and locations that were itemized as Warzone Rumble multiplayer maps, since by designation in the menus, they actually were multiplayer. So that could be why those are actually in there. But again, tons of maps that we haven't seen since the very launch and even earlier that have been in the game files. So where have those gone? Operators like Yandi, Stoli, Lynch, who's Marshawn Lynch, and a few others to my knowledge which haven't been introduced as well, like Nebo, Kilgore, Trig, Hooper, Kato. Those never came either, and while some of those could be of course scratched off in their celebrity introductions, they were in the game files and made in the game for a reason. The big one, of course, that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about in the operator section is that of Soap. And this is something that's a really big question mark. I'll let you know a little secret. I'm redoing this video from just about a month ago, and at that point of initially recording, there was no mention of Soap anywhere outside of the explicit name drop in the ending of the campaign between Price and Laswell. But with Season 6, there was this weird anomaly where there were a few sound files for a one Soap McTavish that were data mined just after the launch of the season. But we don't really know for sure. It's incredibly weird to see, but we have no definitives or really any models or anything as the time of re-recording this that would be pointing as a smoking gun, but that could be something that Infinity Ward may be holding and is the ace up their sleeve. Characters like Soap, characters like Makarov, yet to be introduced but are integral to the Modern Warfare storyline, which is being rewritten in this sort of reboot universe that we have with 2019, that could be integral to the sales of Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, the sequel to whatever comes here for 2019's Modern Warfare. 2021, maybe it is Modern Warfare 2, and those are the two pieces that are again driving forces along with our cast returning. But those operators, again, Soap withstanding, have also been in the game files and haven't been released. Weaponry, that's another one that's going to be interesting to see how and if this can play out at all. We still have the AA-12 yet to be released that is from the game files that we've known about for quite some time, and even though we have a butterfly knife coming in the roadmap for Season 6 Reloaded's update, I'm still not counting on that just being the only thing here. I wouldn't be surprised if the AA-12 finds its way into the game as of that point. I'm thinking that could be a surprise introduction if I were to guess. But let's be honest, cut content is very real and very common. So what makes this any different from where we are now with potentially a Season 6 finale for Modern Warfare? Why is it something that we still can think maybe this will happen? Well, the rumor is pretty solid. Again, minus that content that we haven't seen just yet and some interesting pieces of information that has popped up, the rumor really gained traction when this season's Battle Pass went live. Thanks to Reddit user Valerian Wren, we have an image of that Battle Pass that is partially progressed, but not fully purchased, meaning that the image was taken as a sort of pop-up saying, hey, don't forget you're missing out on this stuff while you're going through with only the free tiers, so maybe consider buying this, as opposed to the same looking pass screen that you'd see at the very beginning of the Battle Pass. But it says in their case that they'd earn even more COD points, which will be enough to buy the, and I quote, Season 7 at a 50% discount in relation to the Battle Pass. Now, interestingly enough, it also mentions Season 7 on the Battle Pass page at one point on Call of Duty's website with the Season 6 Battle Pass, but it also has since been amended. So to me, this goes one of two different ways. Either one, it was inadvertently confirmed by this, or the image that we see here from Reddit was a result of leftover code for that mid-Battle Pass purchase pop-up. The code possibly just including a sort of +1 algorithm that doesn't have to be manually updated every single season. But that's where the rumor really took shape, minus again the content that we haven't seen just yet, so it could go either way. But let's say it happens. Let's talk about the timing of this. Let's just say this does happen, where we do get a Season 7. Let's talk about the timing here of this, because Season 6 is set to start on the 29th, likely overnight into the 29th, but let's say it goes normally again for another 50 to 55 days as we usually see. That would mean that Season 7's kickoff would be right around Tuesday, November 24th, and if you know your dates, that's actually after the launch of Black Ops Cold War. So is it likely? Truthfully, I don't know. If we follow previous trends, which Call of Duty does a lot, the last two options for this don't really bode too well for this theory. The last two games having events going into the next title. In Call of Duty World War II, we had Halloween Scream, which kicked off on October 2nd of 2018, and a few short days later, on October 12th, Black Ops 4 released worldwide. Fast forward a year later, Black Ops 4 introduced Operation Dark Divide, which started on September 23rd for PlayStation 4 users, with the event going for a few weeks up until the launch of Modern Warfare a month later on October 25th. So if that pattern continues, that means that we haven't seen a new season or operation start after the launch of the following title. World War II did admittedly repeat events the year following, allowing players to unlock items that were previously locked in events like Winter Siege and Shamrock and Awe, until they finally allowed players to unlock everything whenever they wanted with the final update of the game. But Black Ops 4's Operation Dark Divide, that never updated, that never changed, and in fact, that operation is still live today with no end date in sight. However, where we can come back to the, okay, but maybe it is real, is that the timer on this season of Modern Warfare is actually a timer. If we follow that same logic, that a season wouldn't launch after the next game, but we just used Dark Divide as an example, even that operation had no timer from the very launch of the operation in Black Ops 4's main year of support. We knew going into that season, based off the logic for timers that we had seen every single operation beforehand, this would be the last one, that it wouldn't be updated after that. But Modern Warfare Season 6 still has that set end date of shortly after the launch of Cold War, so sort of furthering the idea that something else could be coming unless it just hits zero and doesn't do anything. But the curveball this year, as opposed to others, is that tethering effect of Warzone. Right now, Modern Warfare and Warzone are hand in hand for their leveling system, correct? Well, when we take a look at what is that rumored leveling system, or I guess not even rumored, but officially teased new leveling system, the official Call of Duty channels recognize this as a new leveling system that will tie into Warzone later, but perhaps not immediately. So that begs the question, are we going to see the first period of time in Warzone tethered to a 155 rank like we do within Modern Warfare, but with new Black Ops Cold War items? And if so, does that mean that the Season 6 rank will just continue on after that, and players will have been 155 for weeks, and then a couple of weeks after that, after the launch of the game, and maybe even as far as months after the launch of Black Ops Cold War? If there's not an immediate changeover in the leveling system, that would infer that the current is in place, and by proxy, that means Modern Warfare's leveling system would still be the driving force in it, perhaps even requiring another reset. And if that's the case, maybe that is grounds for a Season 7. Now, another new interesting development as of even actually today is that Season 7 could have some more hints coming up in the next update, because PlayStation 4 users for Modern Warfare overnight and into today, it doesn't seem like it's something that all users have this, but some have reported it, even myself, have actually been able to preload the next update, update 1.28 for Modern Warfare. It's not actually playable, but it's something you could download early so you don't have to wait for its launch. Maybe this is the mid-season reloaded update, perhaps for next week. Maybe it goes live as of this week instead of next, and the rest of that stuff's time gated. But whatever it is, we'll likely have some answers, either confirmation or debunking of this rumor based off of what's in the files for this update, which will presumably be data mined within the first 24 hours or so of it being around on PC. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for as well. What's weird is that Call of Duty has kind of been cyclical for the last decade or so, where you can very easily predict what's going to happen if you've known what has happened in the past. But it's weird this time around because we have A plus B, which we can figure out what that means. Let's just say for theory's sake, it's 2 plus 2. But now with Warzone and this differing time frame, as opposed to what we've seen in the past, it's almost like it's A plus B plus C plus D, where we don't know what C and D's values are. So we just can't really pinpoint it exactly, even though we may have a general idea. So, end of the story, I guess, being right now, we just don't know. This rumor of a Season 7 is, of course, interesting, and there is grounds for potentially there being a Season 7 with content still to come, but how likely it is, that's really up in the air, and where I guess it comes down to what you may believe here with this. For the longest time, because of these items like emblems that were in the game code as long as some of these maps and operators, even longer in some case, we only knew of what was going to be Season 5. So I think with this year, it's kind of been a weird year to follow to begin with. So the best we can do is wait, because even Season 6 up until a couple of weeks ago wasn't something that was guaranteed. So maybe we get Season 7, maybe we don't, but wanted to talk about this rumor here for you guys and get your thoughts on it all as well. So that said, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think there's going to be a Season 7 within Modern Warfare? Do you think there is, of course, the grounds to do so? Do you think it's even probable? Whatever it is, let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. We're getting all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and of course, Black Ops Cold War content. We'll keep you up to date with absolutely anything you need to know. As well, if you want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.